Well, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of I try and do a thing with Game Builder Garage and see if that works out well. And if you haven't been following up with the series that just started, I'm basically in the process of building a flight simulator in Game Builder Garage. It is not that it's not that easy of a process to really handle. So we left off on the title screen where basically I started out doing one thing that actually kind of wasn't really that good of an idea, honestly. And now we're here and where we are today, where we've at least got a title screen that if you press A it does a thing, but after that nothing much really happens. Yeah. Also, we need to kind of disambiguate the title screen a bit, and we'll probably have to get started on putting in the second part of this game, which is the actual game itself, because this is merely a title screen and item selection thing, so we've got a ways to go before we can do the thing. Alright, so here we have this good old mess of code that I left off from the last time we did the video. Before we do actually go ahead and do the edit, let's just do some things with the text object, because yeah, because even though we do have the play button, it's like just play and not really press A to play or anything like that. It's a very ambiguous play button. So also what's going to probably happen is that because we need to know when we've actually did the hit play thing, which we already have a flag for, we will need to use it just to make sure that we can select things. Preferably we will have to start out with the good old AND gate, wherever the hell that happens to be. And there we go. And the reason why we're doing this, in fact we're probably going to duplicate this, is so this way when we do make our selection we can do the selecting thing. And we're also probably going to have a trigger thing. And why did these AND gates just mix together? We're probably going to have a thing for selecting. And let's see, yeah, so we basically need a counter at this point. And I think we're going to be selecting from 3 different things to really select from, because with this game having kind of a limited amount of things you can put in it, I need something that we can just do simple art for. And well, because we really shouldn't be too focused on art here, because I'm not that good at that kind of stuff, if I'm going to be brutally honest here. But also because this is Game Builder Garage, there's so many limitations on how and what you can really make with these things, because it's not like other game development platforms, like where you get the ability to do some basic modeling, like solid modeling, and or just traditional game development in general, where you have to use stuff like Blender. We don't have that here, so I'm probably going to build some basic things. So we're probably going to be very limited on what we have for selections. It also makes it easier for when we actually transfer it over to the actual game, when that time comes in the next few videos or so. And so we've just selected a range for our good old counter thing, and now we can select between 3 different planes. I believe I may make that ones this way. When it starts out it's 1 to 3, therefore we actually do get 3, because if we're counting from 0 we actually get 4. The logic kind of does and doesn't work out at the same time. But anyway, I'm also going to copy over some code from that we made last time, like the calculator thing, because when we select we do need to do the thing. I'm also going to move all this down just so we can have it a little cleaner, even though it's not really off to a good old start. What else? And we may as well just consider resetting it whenever we hit the B button, which, if we remember from last video, is programmed to bring it back to the title screen. And if we didn't, it would be absolute chaos at this point. And there's our B button command. And yeah. Now let's see. We need the flag command. I know I could just go ahead and use teleporters and other cool things, like the whole thing where it broadcasts the signal, but honestly it's already a mess, so yeah, I'm not going to be bothered to clean it up. It's traditional Game Builder Garage quality stuff. Also, we're going to use the shoulder buttons. I may eventually make that into having the analog sticks or D-pad enabled, but otherwise, yeah. And here we go. Come on, get down there. Alright. Because what'll happen is we will replace that with that. And then we could eventually just select between three. In the middle, I'm also going to put in a good old trigger from 0, which is absolutely helpful in this case, because then you don't have to deal with pressing and holding on the right shoulder button or just pressing for like 1 nanosecond and it's already counted up like a ton of times already. It just counts up once and only goes back until you've released it, which is pretty good in my case, at this time at least. I'll also probably start finding out where things land, which shouldn't be too hard or where these controls will eventually end up going, which shouldn't be too hard because it's just a matter of 10 meters in this game, so it's like one of these squares, I'd say, you know, each square I believe being a meter, and we could just put the text down in the middle, or just do the whole A/B testing thing, do the thing, see what sticks. But otherwise, I think that's this part of code complete. Controls are a problem, because I was hoping that it would be right to go up a plane and then left to go down it, but that wasn't the case. That most certainly wasn't the case. Yes. Well, mistakes have been made, I will admit. There we go. Beauty. Well, I can't really give a big metric on how this works, but I'm pretty sure this is close. Wait, let's just see if I can go there. And it works, I guess. Alright. And now to kind of introduce the whole let's just get rid of our number object, and I'm just going to start introducing some UFOs into it as placeholders. And what we're going to do is simple. We're just going to line them up to where I think they will basically be in the final product, and just hope that it is actually the exact place that these things go for. Now let's see. Here we go. I'm hoping that this works. Ooh, and we've already run into the problem. Okay, so our problem is that we've just gone a little too short, but that's okay, I guess. It's still an early alpha after all. It's not even released. Okay, We got 1 there and 2 there. Yeah, so we just have to rectify that to there. Come on, let me move you. I love how these things just refuse to be moved. There we go. Well, let's see. And hopefully that's enough. And would you look at that? It's pretty much close. We're on to something here. Come on. Just let me move you a little bit more. There should work. In fact, I kind of overshot that one. Alright, fair enough. Okay. And now the last thing to do is really to make it an actual selection screen by, well, just doing the thing with the thing and just putting down some text. Alright, so yeah. So let's just get this text done, and we'll probably get to handling some of the code for it. Alright. Come on. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. Let's see, I'm just gonna start by putting down names. So, all the names have been added to the thing, so this way you have plane, helicopter, and UFO. They're pretty much obscured by the actual UFO things that I put in, just as a placeholder. Eventually we will replace them with actual things. The only thing that may not get replaced is the UFO itself, because we'll just use default Game Builder Garage stuff for that. I think this may also be an instance where I'll just use default Game Builder Garage controls and code in that instance. But maybe the helicopter would be a kind of similar thing, but except the only thing that's really controlled is like height and sometimes speed, you know, because you need the throttle thing. But otherwise, we'll just resize this a bit so it's actual size. And we're also going to move a lot of these parts and things back a bit, so this way it looks like they're just a sign that's just saying things about what it is or something like that. And eventually, once we're done with all that, yeah, I think we're going to just wire it up, probably make the thing do the thing. Shouldn't be too hard, because, you know, you gotta just... So let's see, yeah, let's just see how that plays out. And there you go. Okay, so the last thing I'm probably going to do before I end the video is just make it where if the input happens, if we press the good old A button, like we should, and select our thing, it should go on to use the... It should be going on to using this counter as a variable for when it switches over to the next game. We're just going to swap game. I don't have anything yet for that, so that'll just happen later. And then swap from value. That is a matter of when the game actually does happen. So keyword, target keyword. We're just going to edit plane. Simple, because that's just the plain choice. And we'll just say plane as well, because this is pretty much an unknown water for me when it comes to how this is designed. And we'll probably do without title, because we just need to, because this is basically just a title screen, and because we've already got a title screen, we could just do the thing. Now let's see. I believe the from value, or yeah, let's see, because we need to we don't have a game to really swap it with, but when we do, it'll probably do the thing. But anyway, and we also do need, and I did forget, we need to load in the logic that tells it that when we swap our game, we need to check if our thing is actually in a play mode. Output, and there we go. If that happens and that happens. Also, I should probably put in another one of those trigger from zeros. There we go. And that should be, and this, no, I don't want that to be moved. I hate why why the whole node-on thing just has to confuse the whole, I'm trying to move the thing when I'm not, but it's actually only moving the connection, not the actual instance itself. Really kind of stupid when this is supposed to be, even though designed to have some mouse support, just so happens to be engineered for also controllers. That's a problem. But, oh well. Can't really complain, I guess. That review has already been made. Okay. Now I just gotta figure out where... There we go, flag is on. And yeah, we select it. Of course it goes back to the game that it was previously on, but that's something we have to deal with for the next video. And I think that's going to do it for today's video. We got a little bit farther, I'd say. Next up, we just have to build the models itself, or try to. It's not going to be the easiest, but at least it'll do the thing. So if you like what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe. There's going to be more episodes of this coming in within the coming months. Yeah, and I think that's it for today's video. And bye.